That's what makes the weight loss, the muscle gain last forever and not just here for the summer and then winter comes around and then your sloppy body all over again. Forget dirty bulk, go lean instead. In today's video, I'll be going over the importance of meal quality, moderate surplus, and with these things, there'll be no force feeding needed. So to start off, before I even get into meal quality, we have to make sure we're getting enough calories in before we even look at bulking. I know it's this big idea that people try to make it very simple, which it can be. Eat more, get bigger. You struggling to gain weight, thinking that you're eating more, eat even more. The basis of that is we need to know what our calorie maintenance is. We need to eat at our calorie maintenance first. I like to do that, set ourselves at our maintenance, set our metabolism so our body is used to eating at that certain level. For me personally, my maintenance is around 33 to 3,400 calories. So if I'm gonna bulk, I want to put myself on maintenance for at least 6 to 8 weeks. You want to do that, get your metabolism going, getting it used to getting that amount of calories in consistently. Because if your body's not getting in your maintenance, your body is going to store and hold on to food as fat because it's not certain when fuel is coming in, how often fuel is coming, if it can burn all this food that you're putting in, or if it needs to go into survival mode so it has it later on in emergency situations. When we set ourselves at maintenance for that 6 to 8 weeks, we're telling our body, hey, this is going to be coming in consistently. You don't need to worry. You don't need to hold on to the food that I'm putting in. You're going to be fed. After doing that for 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to add just 200 calories to what you're eating. So like I said, my maintenance is 33 to 3,400. I'm going to add 200 to 250 calories. So I'm going to go to 3,500. And then you're going to eat that. And then again, you're going to do that for a couple weeks. Let your body get used to it and say the surplus of food is coming in. I'm going to be able to still put on muscle and not put on large amounts of fat. And I'm going to be able to keep adding on. And my body, if it's consistently getting this 3,500, it's going to be okay with not holding on the extra weight. It knows it's got food to burn, food's coming. And then again, we're monitoring our body while we're doing these bulk. We want to make sure that our body's able to handle going up so much. Because once we get, for men, about, you don't want to get higher than 20% body fat. And for women, I believe it's around that 25-30% body fat range where you're increasing so much to where you're just solely putting on fat. So when I did my first bulk, I was at 15%. I bulked up, added on to my calories, went up to about 19%. So I did that 6 week at maintenance. Then I did 200 for about 2 to 3 weeks. See, my body was doing well. I was actually losing fat and gaining muscle. So then I did another 200 and did that for 2 to 3 weeks. Went back, checked to see how my body fat's doing. Still dropped. For me, in my instance, I was still dropping fat and gaining muscle. So I added another 200. And I did that into a point until I gained body fat, got up to about 19% and was able to stay around 19%. So I ended up, I think at the end total, going up to 3,900 calories. If I would have went to that 4,100 range, I would have been gaining fat. And the goal is to gain muscle when you're bulking. Yes, you're going to gain fat, but you want to control the amount of fat you gain. You won't want it to be this exponential amount of fat, which goes into the importance of meal quality. When we're bulking, yes, you want to get more food in, and sometimes getting in more calories could seem difficult, especially if you haven't done it before. But that doesn't mean this is the time where we could start eating a shit ton of Oreos, a shit ton of Pop Tarts, which was a weakness of mine. We still need to eat the same foods that we would eat on a cut. We just eat more of it. Eating healthier is not just looking at it as a diet down phase I'm gonna do for 6 weeks. It's a lifestyle change. And once you commit to that lifestyle change, that's what makes the weight loss, the muscle gain last forever and not just here for the summer and then winter comes around and then your sloppy body all over again. So when we're looking at meal quality, we need to look at the quality of everything we're putting in our body, the quality of our carbs, the quality of our proteins, the quality of our fats. It's easy if you want to say, I want to get 200 grams of protein and I have all these calories I need to kill. I'm just going to slam down a bunch of fried chicken and you'll get your calories, but your fat's going to be crazy. It's not going to be great fat. It's going to be crazy through the roof. Your sodium intake's going to be crazy from all that fried food. We want to make sure we're still getting those quality meals and we're still getting our fruits, we're still getting our vegetables. Yes, when bulking, I tend to lean to adding more breads and rice, but I'm not doing it in such large amounts that it's going to cause me to gain large amounts of fat. And also something knowing that eventually I'm going to cut at some point, that I'm not so reliant and resistant on it that I'm feels like I'm putting myself through a food withdrawal, taking away those rice and breads. I might do maybe a piece, a toast or two a day, or if I have my favorite like tortillas, I know that I will eat on a cut. I just eat more of it while I'm bulking. Again, just eating more of the foods that we're eating already on a cut. Moderate surplus, I talked about it a little bit already. It's jumping up in that surplus just that small amount at a time. When we do those huge jumps, so if I was to go straight from that 33, 3400 to 3900, I'm going to put on a shit ton of fat because my body is taking in way more calories than what it's used to. So it's going to freak the fuck out. It's like, hold on, where's all this extra foods that coming from? I didn't have time to prepare myself for this. And it's gonna be like shoving shit, just shoving fat everywhere. Like when you're rushing out of the house, so you're just rushing from somewhere and you're just trying to fill your pockets real quick. That's what your body's doing with your fat. It's just shoving shit here, shoving shit there. It's gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna do something with it. Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to burn all this quite yet, but we're gonna do something. And that's how you can see people who end up taking the bulk too far and you don't even see the muscle definition anymore. And it's just, you're like, maybe under all that fat you probably have great muscle, but you just bulked the wrong way. Bulk in a moderate surplus, have more control of the bulk that you're doing, be able to, you'll see when it's best for you to go on a cut and how much your body can handle going into that surplus. And force feedings fucking suck. I love food as much as the next person. I feel like most people who are constantly in the gym do. But when you're telling me if I have to sit here and force myself to eat, let's say 4,000 calories, jumping from that 33 to 4,000, that's going to feel impossible. My body's not used to it. I'm going to be cramping up in my stomach. I'm going to feel bloated. It is the worst feeling ever. You have to eat a lot to get big, but you can get yourself used to how much you're eating. Your body is very good at creating habit and adjusting to what you have going on in your life. So if you do those drastic jumps, it's going to be hard on you. You're going to not want to eat for the bulk. You're not even going to be able to sustain it. So then at the end of the day, you just put on fat for no reason and you won't even be able to see the benefits of bulking. So if you eat higher quality foods while you're bulking, making sure we're still getting in our berries and vitamins from fruits and vegetables, eat in a moderate surplus and not just jumping into high amounts of calories. We don't need to force feed and feel like we're going to throw up every time we're eating our food. You can bulk lean and feel better while you're bulking and not gain a lot of fat and put your body in a position where you're just gaining more muscle and controlling the amount of fat that you're going to gain and understanding at what point it's best for your body to slow down and maybe go back to a cut or maintenance. Until next time.